There you go, everybody. Time for something a little bit different. Just a real random thing, but amongst everything that we're selling, our kitchen table, when we bought this, it was second hand and it was pretty scruffy on top. But whatever we covered it in was with what I think was with like some sort of wood varnish. Over time, was sitting inside the window. It sort of almost got sticky. It was very, very hard to keep clean. So I've just DA sanded it with 80 grit and then 120. So I've just ripped all the shit off the top of it, and I've got it back to some nice clean material now, and it's reasonably smooth. So I'm just going to go back over it with the sanding block with a bit of 240 on it. And then I think I've got a bit of 800 here, which I'm sort of just trying to use what I've got here. And I just bought a couple of cheap cans of automotive clear lacquer. What I'll do is I'll give it probably a couple of light coats and let that dry, and then I'll feel it, and I might just give it a rub with the 800, and then I'll give it another couple of coats, and hopefully that'll be enough to make it a half by decent clean table, and it shouldn't get sticky again, I'm hoping. So I'll give it a sand with this, and then I might give you another shot. Sort of hard to tell. There's still a few marks in it, bits and pieces. I'm not trying to get it dead perfect, as long as it's nice and clean and sellable, and I don't know, just help get us a few extra bucks for it instead of. It was getting really sticking. It was very hard to clean. It was almost getting grubby, looked like somebody had never sort of washed it. It was just sort of like wiped without sort of actually spraying something on it. It was getting like that sort of black, sort of sticky look that you get on like doors and stuff too if you don't clean them for a while, like wooden doors or even painted doors. So yeah, it's sort of what it looked like, but it was something to do with the varnish or whatever it was that my partner and her dad put on it when they sanded it up when we bought it when I was working way back, and it said just with over time with the sun it broke down. So hopefully this clear automotive paint might be a bit better, and see the next person through for a while, because it's quite a reasonable sort of little table. So yeah, I thought I'd just tidy it up. I'm not going to restain it. I can't be bothered, because we didn't restain it. We just used it. Like really, at the end of the day, like $400 top dollar for it, like I'd send it all back and get it all back to that sort of natural finish. But I'm not worried about it. I just want to make it a bit more tidy for somebody. So that's a little project for the day in between doing other things. Getting the place cleaned up, sorted up. So you're going to have a garage sale next weekend, and just try and get rid of all the bits and pieces, and we'll drag a whole heap of stuff in here from inside, and hopefully next Sunday or Saturday we'll get rid of 99% of it, and then we'll just, I don't know, hopefully we can get rid of the last of it, or I'll just give it away to somebody. Alright guys, I'll do an update shortly. Cheers. Alright, so I've just sanded it with 240 by hand, and I just gave it a fairly quick rub with some 800 just to sort of smooth it out a bit better, and I've just given it one light coat with that clear, automotive clear. So you can see it's going to go all that sort of feathery, hairy. So that's sort of what I wanted to do with the light coat, and I'll give it another light sand with the 800 just to hopefully be enough to bring it down, and then I'll pour, I don't know, 3 or 4 coats of that, just that lacquer clear over it. So I just wanted a sealer on there, so seal it up and make everything stand up. It's going to stand up, and then I'll just give that a light rub. So I'll come back, I'm just going to go over coffee and let that dry off, because it's fast dry, and hopefully it'll be just dry enough just to give it a wee light rub with that wet 800. Alrighty guys, see you shortly. I just gave it a quick sand, and I'm just giving it a couple of coats out of the rattle can, so I'm just letting these couple sort of flash off for a few minutes, and then I'll give it another couple and see what it looks like. Let it dry. Right, good morning everybody. So I sprayed this all last night, and it came up pretty good, but there was just a few spots that still feathered up. unfortunately. So I just wet sanded it, and I've just left it for, I don't know, probably 15-20 minutes, and just I dried it all off by hand with a couple of rags, and I've just left it for a while. So hopefully now it's dry enough that I might be able to hopefully give it another couple of coats with what I've got left in the couple of rattle cans I've got. So I'm just going to go dunk them in hot water and get them nice and hot, and I'll just give it another couple coats, and hopefully the few pieces that stood up, which was this piece here, because it's quite a sort of big fat grain. There was 2 or 3 sort of spots. So you can see another spot up here that was sort of a bit standing uppy, but hopefully, because I've just wet sand it with some 800, so hopefully it'll sit down and look good. It'll be fairly glossy, but at least it'll be easy to clean. Right, I'll come back to you shortly and hopefully show you the final result. Right, so just finished sort of spraying a cup or half by reasonable coats of clear on there. So it's just starting to dry off. I might have to give it a light wet sand with some 2000 and maybe see if I can, I don't know, polish it up a little, just by hand maybe, I don't know. I'll see what it turns out like when it dries, because it's a little bit liney, but I was getting lower on paint, and it's not so easy to rattle cans too when they haven't got the big wide spread nozzle. It's only just cheap stuff, so, but it'll be a lot better than what it was. And it should be reasonably, well, I wouldn't say super durable, like it's not 2-pack, a good hard 2-pack, but it'll be reasonably durable. Alrighty. If I do wet sand or anything like that, I'll give you another wee shot.